What's up, everybody? Who wants to share a highlight from this week? What's something awesome that happened this week? What's up? You did. He came over to our house. It was awesome. Who else? What'd you do this week? Raise your hand. Something awesome. What's up? You got rid of your brother. Wow. Mm-mm. Who else? Nobody did anything awesome this week? Thank you, William. What's up? You came here. Aww. Awesome. Who else?
Come on, somebody has Selena, what'd you do this week? Let's go.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Your coach is the MVP today. Sunday you came back from Ohio.
Yeah.
How was your trip? Awesome, bro. Love it.
Was that yours, Emma? I saw your hand went down.
Anybody else?
What's up? What's up, Kaylee?
Yeah.
What's up? Everybody say welcome.
It's Kaylin
Thank
with a
you.
C, right?
Lots of enthusiasm.
Kaylin, right?
But you go by Kelly. You can go by Kelly. Is that right? Kelly. So you guys can call her Kelly. Say, what's up, Kelly? No.
That was so lame.
I said, say, what's up, Kelly?
What is everybody's deal this week?
All right, I think you guys need to all stand up and do like 20 jumping jacks because that's where we're going right now.
Hey, can we get everybody to scoot up a little bit more? I feel so distant. I guess I could come to you guys. I guess that'll work for you. That's a little weird. You can back up a little bit. I love you, but I don't love you that much. All right, cool.
So just really quick, I want to let you guys know next week we will not be meeting here. What did I just say? Where are we going to be meeting next week? Not here. Blue Ridge Park. That's right. Next week at 6:30, we're going to be at Blue Ridge Park. There's going to be games, snacks. We're going to hang out. Parents are welcome to stay and hang as well. So we're super excited. It's going to be awesome. Okay, I'm giving the mic to Ben now.
All right, everybody give a round of applause for Arlen. Woo. Killed it. Hashtag nailed it. Love it. Huh? Great show. Love it. Well, hey, guys. We are so glad to have everybody back hanging out again this week. So, hey, couple of things real quick I want to do. We got to give a couple of shout-outs real quick. First of all, I want to give a shout-out to Benjamin for having the coolest name in youth group. So, give a round of applause for Benjamin for having the coolest name in youth group. It's a pretty amazing name, so love that. And then, hey, everybody look back at Erica and say, hi, Erica. People are failing us today. Oh, I know. Y'all can't say hey to me and Kaylin have been best friends for 20 years, and you guys can't even say hey to her. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So anyway, but Erica, she graduated, so let's all give her another round of applause for graduating. So hey, listen, she is actually on our team now in a leadership capacity and is going to be helping out in different ways. So make sure that you guys say hey to her and give her a high five and embarrass her because it's hilarious. Awesome. So we're gonna get started, and I'm really excited about just this opportunity to share with you guys. I feel like God put something really cool in my heart that I think will be a really great challenge for us as this whole crazy COVID thing is coming down now, and we are beginning to come out of COVID. Brovid, I'm sorry for Brovid. I'm sorry, it's Brovid. And so here's what I want to know. First of all, I need to know, we asked this question on the podcast. How many of you guys watched the podcast, by the way? We're going to keep doing that, just so you guys know. We're not going to end that. We're going to be doing that on a different night so that we can have youth group, and then we'll also have the podcast night as well. But on the podcast, I asked this question, but I want to hear from some people that were not on the podcast that didn't get the chance to watch it or maybe interact with it. But what was your favorite food that got you through COVID? Can you guys hear what I'm saying? Because I see conversations happening. I'm just going to stare at you guys because you guys just obviously aren't paying attention. So rude. So rude. Somebody tell me what was your favorite snack that got you through COVID, Brovid? Ribs? All right, dude, I wish I just... That's not a snack. Oh, just whenever, just pull out a bag of ribs. Just chilling in bed, watching Netflix, eating ribs, whatever. Love it. What was yours? Pop-Tarts. What's your favorite kind of Pop-Tart? We like this. Which one? What did you say? Lozano. What did you just say? What did you say? Mm. I agree with you. I agree with you. Did you say raw? Is that a new thing? You're starting. Oh, you like them raw. That doesn't. Hold up. That's a whole new argument now. If they're not in the toaster, are they just raw? A raw pop. All right. We're gonna rope this back in. We're gonna rope this. Cheez-Its are how I fought my COVID battle. So yeah. You just ate blueberries. Gotcha. Very cool. All right. So we're gonna get started, and I want to talk about this idea of, have any of you guys ever thought about the idea of having to train for something that you really wanted to do? That maybe you pushed yourself to be better. Maybe it was like a sporting event. Maybe it was like, I need to make a healthier decision in my life. Okay, guys, I still see a lot of side conversation happening, and like, we are leaders and we're better than that. So we respect the person that's talking, because again, I would never do that to you if you were up here. I have like crazy ADHD, so it super distracts me if you guys are like talking while I'm talking. Appreciate it. So anyway, so we're gonna get back to this. So we're talking about this idea tonight of training spiritually and getting trained up. And so when I was in college, we had to run a half marathon. We had to run 2 half marathons in school, because they believed that you should be trained in your mind, your body, your spirit, all of that. So part of that was training our bodies. And when I first went into school, like, I was terrified of doing a half marathon. I was like, I don't even know what that means. I don't know how to run one. I didn't train for it at all. And I actually ran them in. Do you guys know what, like, those high top Converse? Is anybody wearing those right now? You're wearing something like them, Emma, but Emily, not quite. But yeah, your shoes. Oh yeah, perfect, exactly. I wore those. I ran a half marathon in those. Yeah, it was terrible idea. And you can ask Arlen. I couldn't move at all the next day. She had to take care of me. I was like I literally could not move at all. I was laid up on her couch, could not do anything. And I didn't take it seriously. And then I found out that we had to run another one, and we were being graded on it. Our half marathon from the first semester, we had to run it again like our third semester, and that time needed to be faster than the first one you ran. So I was like, I need to take this seriously because I'm actually getting graded on this. So I started training to do it. I started running. I started, really getting into intramural sports and playing and training. And I got a pair of running shoes. I got a pair of Pumas. And my time was faster by 2 hours. It was 2 hours. 13.2 miles in how long? No, it was not a 13K. It was a half marathon. 26 miles is a full marathon. Half of that is 13. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. My time was faster by, Pastor Mark Pettis came to me when he tracked me and said, hey, dude, your time was faster by 2 hours. And so, because I ran it really, really slow the first time and could barely move. And so I was faster because I trained and I took it seriously and was able to run it a lot quicker. And so if you're wondering how that's tying into tonight, the message that I want to talk about is this idea of spiritual growth. And I understand that sometimes spiritual growth and growing spiritually can sound intimidating, or maybe it's even confusing, but the goal of tonight is I wanted to help you guys understand this idea of growing stronger spiritually, because I think this is a great time for us to start that. And so one of the things that I want to ask you guys is, what is spiritual growth? So if I ask you that, like, what do you guys think spiritual growth is? Does anybody have a thought of what spiritual growth is? Nobody has a thought. You guys are so awkward tonight. What is going on with y'all? No one knows what spiritual growth is. No one has an idea. Thank you, Cody. You leader, you. Yeah, growing mentally. That's really good. Anybody else have a thought on what it means to grow spiritually? Yes, Wyatt. Wyatt's answer, my question was, what does it mean to grow spiritually? And Wyatt's answer was to grow spiritually. Thank you, Wyatt. Everybody, round of applause for Wyatt for the great answer. Nailed it. Emma, do you have an answer? I just feel like you have an answer. I just feel like you're so smart and you're an incredible leader and you're called and anointed. What does it mean to grow spiritually? It's to grow spiritually. Anybody else have a thought? Ditto. Wow. Yes, Emily, thank you. I didn't see your hand there. Yes, so good. Selena, were you going to say the same thing? Love it. What you got? y'all are in a mood today. I love it. Okay, cool. So we're going to talk about this idea of what it means to have spiritual growth, and the best place to look is the Bible. So we're going to be in Colossians 2, 6 through 7. It says, "And now, just as you accepted Christ Jesus as your Lord, you must continue to follow him. Let your roots grow down into him, and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth you were taught, and you will overflow with thankfulness." So we see that spiritual growth happens once you've decided to make Jesus the Lord of your life. And I understand that some of you in here, maybe you have made that decision. Maybe there's somebody in here that you haven't made that decision, or maybe there's somebody in here that you're on the fence of that decision and you're just not sure. And that's okay. Anywhere you are right now, that's okay, because here's the deal. No matter where you are with Christ, you can always grow closer. If you're taking notes, which I hope everybody will start doing that, no matter where you are with Christ, you can always grow closer. I am a pastor, and I can still grow closer. I still drop the ball a lot and feel like sometimes I can grow even closer to God. And so I hope that's encouraging to you. But first, why are we even talking about spiritual growth? Why is that important? Think about it this way. Why is growing at all important? Somebody tell me that. Why do you think growing is important? Yes. Because you'll be short. That's in a lot of ways. You're right. Hey, that's a good answer. No, you will fall short. You will literally be short. That's good. So we're asking this question, why is growing important? When you were a kid, you always wanted to be bigger. When you began playing a sport, you wanted to get better at it. When you got the C on your test, you wanted to get an A. Where's my C students at? Who got C's? Love you all. Proud of you guys. It's all good. I'm a C student too, so need to work on that. Okay, so you wanted to get an A on the test. Listen, hey, come on, right here. You wanted to become a better athlete. You wanted to play that sport better. You wanted to do whatever better. You wanted to get healthier. So how did you do it? Maybe to get bigger, you ate more vegetables, and to become a better athlete, you trained even harder. You focused more on studying to get a better grade on your test. You pushed yourself to grow. So if you want a deeper faith in Christ and you want to feel closer to God, you've got to grow spiritually. We have to know that spiritual growth, like anything that's good in our lives, requires work. But here's what we need to know. Spiritual growth is worth the work. Can we just say that together? Spiritual growth is worth the work. Awesome. So I want to pause here for a second. And I want to be clear that spiritual growth doesn't mean that you know a lot about God. Because I feel like that's like, some of you guys maybe feel like you need to know a lot about God, or you need to be able to quote every single verse in order to grow spiritually. That's not true. It's all about following Jesus, and it's all about growing your relationship with him. So you don't have to be able to quote the whole Bible or pray some crazy elaborate prayer. How many of you guys are in here would say that you're afraid to pray because you don't know what to say? Like, it's awkward to pray because you don't always know what to say, right? You don't have to know some crazy elaborate prayer. You don't have to be able to quote the Bible all the time to grow spiritually. Growing spiritually means taking one step at a time every single day to just get a little bit closer to Jesus. One step every day. Does that sound really hard to do? Like, if I told you all you have to do today is just take one step. You could sit there all day, do whatever you want, hang out, but all I ask is that you just take one step. Does that sound like super impossible? If we took one step closer to Jesus every single day, that would be such an awesome goal, such an awesome thing to celebrate, and to celebrate every bit of growth, because even one step is still growth, and it's worth celebrating and being excited about. So Here's a question. How do you grow spiritually? Does anybody have any ideas how you grow spiritually? Oh, gosh, we're Christians. Come on. What's the one answer? It's so easy. Emily, what is it? Read your Bible. That's such a good answer. See, it's either just say read the Bible or say Jesus, and usually you go to church. That's right. So picture it this way. How many of you guys, raise your hand if you have a best friend or a friend that you know you can always count on? Now, imagine in a world where a massive virus hits the country and everybody has to quarantine. Imagine going like 4, 5, 6, 700 months without any interaction with that friend. Hey, listen. Come on. Rein back in. Listen, we got to imagine this. Imagine going like 6 months without any interaction with your friend. Like you don't talk to them. You don't even text them. You don't look at them. You don't even think about them for 6 whole months. When you saw them again, would you be as good as before? I'm not saying you guys wouldn't be friends, but would you be as good as you were before you went into friendship quarantine with that person? No, because this whole time, they would have wanted to know where you were, and you would have had so much that you guys missed that happened in your lives that you'd have to catch up on. But how many of us treat our relationship with Christ the same way? We make the decision to follow Jesus, get this adrenaline rush. Maybe every once in a while you're like feeling like super spiritually high because you're excited about what's going on and what he's going to do with our lives, but then we slowly slip back into what we were doing before. We go on a Jesus quarantine. Everybody say Jesus quarantine. We go on a break from probably our most important friend, and we look up and wonder how we got there. We started something, but then we didn't grow it. Maybe you find yourself in a situation like that today, like sitting right where you are. A lot of you guys come in here, and you put a mask on, you joke around, you goof off the whole time, but there's real pain that you go through that no one else knows about and that you don't share, and you've got real things going on in your life, and maybe you feel like you're all alone. That's a struggle for so many people, but way too many people focus on the fact that they drifted away from God rather than focusing on how they can get back to him. So my hope for us today is that we'll be able to recognize the spiritual habits that you have to develop to get back to him. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of spiritual habits. Again, I really, really would love to see notebooks. If I need to get a bunch in here, I can, and I would love to just hand them out to you guys. Taking notes is so important for you guys to be able to go back on, because I'm going to give you guys a couple of things that I think has really helped me along the way in trying to get back to God in moments that I feel like I've slipped. So before we go over the habits, though, I want us to define what spiritual habits are. Spiritual habits are the decision, behaviors, and rhythms that help us grow spiritually over time. Again, over time. You're not going to get this all today. I still don't have it all. I'm still working toward it. It's a process every single day. But again, it's habits. They are the decisions, behaviors, and rhythms that help us grow spiritually over time. If you're like most people, the first thing that pops into your head when you hear the word spiritual habits are probably reading the Bible, praying, and going to church. Those are the 3 things that we think of when we're like, what are good habits that we need? But there are actually more. So, sure, reading and praying and going to church are important spiritual habits. Those are good things, but they're not the only things. So what is this master list of all the spiritual habits you need? Well, there actually isn't one. There isn't a list because everybody is different. You guys are all on different journeys, but there are 3 habits to really help you kind of get started. If you guys are all laughing at something on your phone, just put it away. That'd be awesome. Thank you. So number 1, the first habit that you guys need to have is to spend time with God. It's called being a light seeker. This isn't an obvious one. Excuse me, it is an obvious one, I meant to say. It's so obvious, in fact, that sometimes it's the only spiritual habit that we can name. After all, isn't growing spiritually the same as spending time with God? Like that's something that we probably would all think. Not exactly. Spending time with God is a big part of growing spiritually, but it's not the only way. That's why it's one of the many habits, because there are a lot. And if you want to make your faith your own, you have to start spending time with God on your own, by yourself. It means opening your Bible on your own, having conversations with God on your own and discovering how you can best connect with God through worship on your own. And I say on your own because spending time with God has to be your choice. I can't make you do it. Your friends can't make you do it. They can help you and encourage you along the way, but only you can make yourself do that. So your small groups, like anybody that's in your life, like no one can really force you to do it. You have to make the choice. You've got to choose that your spiritual growth is worth the work, like we've said before. But here's the amazing thing. The more time you spend with God, the less it starts to feel like work, and the more time it starts feeling like something you can't live without doing. Because now I can literally notice times when I'm not spending time with God, like my life is totally thrown off, and I feel super disconnected. I don't feel like there's a spiritual backing. I don't feel the anointing to do anything, and I really get into kind of a funk and feel like I don't even belong in ministry, and I don't feel like I'm good enough to do what God's called me to do, and it's all these lies that every single one of you guys hear about yourself. Every single one of you guys look at yourself in the mirror and you believe some kind of lie. Because maybe you're so disconnected from God and his voice that you're allowing the enemy to speak louder because you have distanced yourself from the voice of God. And so you're allowing him to reign louder in your head and feed you lies about yourself. So, number 2 is that I want to read you guys this verse. Psalm 63:1 says, "O God, you are my God. I earnestly search for you. My soul, it thirsts for you. My body longs for you in this parched and weary land where there is no water." See, that's the passion. So spending time with God is the first habit to start. It's all about developing a personal friendship with God, because just like any friendships, we can only grow closer to God if we spend time with him. It's just like any other friendship. So number 2. So number 1 was spend time with God. Number 2 is to spend time with others. So we said spending time with God makes you the light seeker. Spending time with others makes you the tribe dweller. The tribe dweller. As much as God wants you to have a personal relationship with you, he also wants you to have a thriving relationship with others. But don't hear me wrong. That means anybody. Whether they have a relationship with Christ or not, we can spend time with, we can love, and we can serve other people. As a matter of fact, that's what you're doing right now. By being here, you decided to spend your time with others tonight. You came and you hung out with 25, 30 other people who are in this room right now. And you're trying to dive deeper into what God has for you. And even though spiritual growth has to be your decision to put in the work, these are the people who want to help you grow. Like every one of these fuel leaders in here, we come every Wednesday night because we want to see you guys grow. We don't want to see you guys keep doing the same old thing. And we don't want to just do normal old youth group where we come in here and play games and goof off and that's it. Because you're not going to get anything out of that. We're committed to intentionally help push you guys to who you guys are called to be. And your friends should be doing that as well. So number 2, spend time with others. And listen, in Hebrews 10:24-25 says, "Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works, and let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near." Like, I know that you guys have been hungry to hang out with people again, and have been missing your friends and going crazy. But don't let this time just be a time that's wasted. If your friends aren't pushing you to be the best you, if they're leading you down the wrong path, then maybe rethink who your friends are, because they're probably not really true friends. They might be friends just at face value, but they don't know you on a deeper level like they should. Number 3. So first, we're going to be light seekers. Then we're going to be tribe dwellers. Number 3 is we're going to be storytellers. You have to share your story. You have to use what God's doing in your life. And share your story is the habit of making faith a regular, everyday, go-to conversation topic in your life. When people are having conversations with you, they should hear your faith in God just flowing from your lips. Just in everything. And listen, we don't all get that right. I fail in that sometimes as well. But I think that we should all make it a point that in every conversation that people know that we love Jesus and that we're here to make a difference in our world and to help other people and serve and love each other. It's about discovering God in every aspect of your story, because every single one of you have a story. God was doing something in your past, he's doing something in your present, and he's doing something in your future, in the good times, the bad times, and the in-between times, and then sharing what we found with others. So you take your whole life, everything that you've been through, and everybody has been through things. Maybe you say, I've been saved since day one. Well, that doesn't matter because, listen, you've had hurt, you've had pain, you've had people broke your heart, you've gone through things. Examine your life and see where God got you out of things and how God rescued you from other things. And so we have to start examining that and then using that to help other people along the way. And I love to do that. I mean, there's so many times where I share my stories and things that I've been through. I mean, I started off with talking about running in Converse. Like, every part of my life I examine and see, okay, God, what were you doing in this moment? Oh, I realized in that moment that I have to take things more seriously. I have to study. I have to put things into it because I've realized in my own personal journey that if I ever get too confident and shrug things off, it goes horribly. But if I work hard and actually put effort toward it, it never goes as bad as I think it's going to go. And that's the same for you guys. If you spend time with God, if you get into the Word, if you allow Him to reveal a piece of your story and a piece of your calling, then you can walk in confidence in that and talking to other people and make a difference. And so what I want to do is we're gonna break off into small group. I'd love to discuss this a little bit more. I want to have some more conversation. So we're gonna do small group time tonight. So I need all my middle school girls. If you are a middle school girl, you guys are gonna be with Melissa, and you guys are going into that back room back there. So if you have a chair, if you're a middle school girl, go back to that room. There you go, you got it. All middle school boys are going to hang out with Gino over there in the corner. High school girls are going to go wherever Arlen's going. And if you are a guy in high school, come hang out with me.